Hi! So today I'm making a video about applying for a China visa from Manila. Okay, so I'm applying for my family of four with different scenarios, okay, or different dynamic. Okay, so prior to applying for the China visa, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and it's been very helpful. Okay, however, since our family dynamic is different, I decided to make this a video so I might be able to help some people with the same scenarios as we have. Okay, so for context, we are a family of four. My husband is a Canadian citizen. I have a Philippine passport, and I have a 28-year-old daughter who's not yet employed, who also has a Philippine passport, and my youngest daughter is 19 years old with special needs and has dual citizenship. Okay, so I'm going to start with how I did the application. Okay, so again, I am the only one who lodged the application for the four of us. Okay, so the first step that I did was, of course, actually to have my picture taken outside. So the four of us went to if you're familiar with Photoline, which is located in different malls here in the Philippines. So we went there and we just told them that we need a picture for our China visa, and they already know the dimension. If you don't know, you can just Google it and it will show up. The most important thing is if you could go there with dark colored top already, because that is needed. If you wear a light colored one, they will not accept the picture. Okay, so go there with a dark colored top, and then they already know that the background should be white. Okay, so we had our picture there. My mistake was I did not ask for the soft copy, which they could actually give you. All right, why do you need a soft copy? Because it's going to be easier since you need to upload this when you apply online for the China visa. Okay, so moving on, you have to go to the website of the China Visa Application Center. So when you do this, you have to create an account. So I did. Since I'm doing the lodging, I created an account. Okay, you have to take note that in this portal or this website, there are no fees that are going to be collected yet. Okay, so if you go to a website that is asking for payment right then and there, then you are on the wrong website. Okay, so make sure that you are in the right China Visa Application Center in Manila. Okay, now once you created your account, you can now start applying for each member of your family. So since we are four, I have to lodge it 4 times. Okay, I have to make an application 4 times. Okay, so let's start with mine first. Okay, so since I'm doing the application for everybody, okay, so what did I submit? Of course, the picture. Now, as I've said, I wasn't able to get the soft copy, and at that point, I did not think about Canva yet. Okay, so I had to take a picture of my physical ID picture, which the problem is when you do that, sometimes the background turns like beige or another shade of white, which the website would not accept. Okay, so what happened is that I did try to upload it probably twice, and then it just said that your picture is rejected. But the thing is, I couldn't edit it anymore. So what I have to do is just to attach 2 physical ID pictures once I print out my application at the end. Okay, so again, if you don't get a soft copy of your ID picture, use Canva, which I did for the remaining family members. Okay, so anyway, moving forward, so what did I submit? Again, that picture, your passport, which needs to be valid at least for 6 months, and at least have 2 blank pages, because that's where they're going to be stamping their visa and also going to be using if you exit the country for the immigration. Okay, so that's basic. When you apply for any visa, that is very basic. Okay, so make sure it's 6 months until it expires, and at least you have 2 blank pages. Okay, and then of course my business, since we are SEC registered. Okay, so this is where I made another mistake, right? So I uploaded a certificate of incorporation from SEC. But the problem is that when you look at your for those that have SEC registration, if you look at your certificate, your actual name is not there, but only your business name. Okay, so I did not think about that because I also put my business permit. Okay, so anyway, that's what I submitted for proof of my business. That's sex certificate. Okay, and my business permit. And then for the financial capacity, I uploaded just one account. Okay, it's just one account, a joint account with my husband. And the thing is, you have to get a bank certificate. Okay, just tell your bank like I'm going to use it for China visa application, and they would know where to address it and how to how to do it. Okay. However, they could only give me 3 months worth of bank statements because if I needed six, I had to wait like several days, which I was very impatient. I just said, never mind. So what I did is just to get the bank certificate and the 3 months bank statement from them. And then what I did is just to print out the remaining 3 months from my online bank account. Okay, so that worked for me. Okay, but if you could get the whole 6 months bank statement from your bank, then that would be better. That would be safer. Okay, for some reason mine went through, so I'm letting you know. Okay, so it went through as long as you have the bank certificate and that at least 3 months. Okay, of bank statements. Okay. Yeah, but the requirement is actually 6 months. Okay, to be clear. Okay, and what other things did I submit? Of course, the itinerary, guys, you can just Google that one. Okay, and then just make sure that you fix the dates so it would coincide with your travel dates that you declared. Okay, it's quite easy. Just or ChatGPT, just put there, give me a 10-day Shanghai itinerary, and it's just gonna come out. Okay, so just do that, attach that one. My hotel booking, of course, hotel booking, you could do it in platforms like Agoda, Cloak, wherein you don't need to pay yet. Because just in case you don't get approved, at least you don't get to pay. However, you also need your flight booking, okay, a confirmed and paid flight booking. Okay, so what I could advise here is that get something that that you could refund to your travel fund just in case that you don't get accepted or your visa application gets rejected. Okay, so but for me, I did submit the itinerary, hotel bookings, and the flight itinerary. The only thing that I added, I think, was a cover letter. Yeah, I did. I added a cover letter stating that we're applying as a family, and that me and my husband will be shouldering the expenses of my children, my two daughters that I'm applying for too. Okay, that's the only thing that I explained there. Okay, I did not upload anymore like other people. They do upload like lot titles, ORCR of their cars. I didn't do that because I think my balance in my bank statement would suffice. Okay, so if you ask me how much do we need to have in the bank, really, what I could tell you, I cannot tell you an exact number, but just think of it this way: how much would a daily cost if you go to China? How much would it cost you? How much is your hotel? How much do you think the food is? A little shopping, and then times the how many days you're going to be staying there. So you should at least have that in your bank account. Okay. So again, I did not put any other financial references into my application because I think my bank statement is fine. Okay. Now, what else did I put in there? Of course, copy of my passport. A copy of my passport, and also the visas that I have. So I have visas for Australia, Japan, Korea. So I just put it there. And also the stamps in my passport, the other countries that I went to, I just put in there just for reference, okay? Just for them to, for me to establish that I do travel and go back. Okay? So that's the only thing that I passed on my side, okay? Okay, so the second scenario would be my husband. My husband is a Canadian citizen, okay? So for a Canadian citizen, this is not very it's not usual because usually Canadians and Americans and other blue passport holders can go to other countries without visas, right? So for China, it's different. Actually, their visas are more expensive. I paid 2,800 plus for mine, for single entry, but I have to pay 4,800 plus for him. Okay, this is very unusual, but okay, it is what it is. Okay, so the only different thing that I passed for him, or I uploaded for his requirement, is his ACR card. Okay, because I uploaded the usual things that I uploaded on my side, which is the bank statement, the SEC registration. There's no cover letter there. Only the ACR is different. Okay, so if your husband is not a Filipino citizen, you have to upload ACR if he has one. Okay, well, he has to if he's applying from here. Okay, so that is something that you have to remember. Okay, the third scenario is my 20-year-old daughter. Okay, so she's not working yet because she just passed her board exams. She's a doctor. So what I uploaded for her is the usual, which is the ID, passport. Okay, at this point, I already know how to use Canva. So what I did with the physical IDs that I took a picture of, I uploaded in Canva, they moved the background to make it white, and then they accepted it. So it's only my application that they rejected the picture, but for my husband, for my daughters, they accepted that one, okay? Because it's already white background, really white background. Okay, anyway, so it's the same. I still uploaded my SEC papers and business permit. I uploaded her, of course, her passport and the stamps in her passport and the visas that she has. Note, this is everybody in her family, this is her first time to apply for a China visa. So, but I think I know that if you have a prior China visa, you need to take a picture of that too. Okay, but for our case, we don't have a China visa yet. What I took a picture of is the visas for other countries and the stamps as well. Okay, now what I did for her is I uploaded a copy of her diplomas. Okay, her pre-med, her med, and even her internship. Okay, just to prove that she is a doctor. Okay, and then what I did is to make a cover letter for her. Okay, so that cover letter is for me. Okay, then uploaded it in her application because okay, another situation with this my 28-year-old daughter is that her surname is different from our surnames. Okay, so I have to upload also her birth certificate to prove my affiliation with her. Okay, so those are the different requirements that I have to upload for her. Her diplomas, her birth certificate, and also a cover letter explaining, number one, why she still doesn't have work. Number two, that I will be responsible for her expenses during this trip. And number three, why her surname is different from ours because we're applying as a family. Okay? So that is scenario number 3. Now, we have scenario number 4, my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter is 19 years old, so she's an adult. However, my daughter has special needs. So she doesn't go to school, she doesn't work. Okay? So what did I upload for her that's different from the others? Okay, let's start with the requirements that are the same. Okay, so I uploaded everything that I uploaded on my application, which is the SEC papers, my bank statement, the business permit. So the only difference on her application is of course her own passport, the stamps on her passport, and her PWD ID. Okay, so those are the things that I uploaded that's different. Okay, I'm sorry. There's another scenario for this fourth 19-year-old daughter. She's also a dual citizen. She's a Canadian and Filipino citizen. Okay, so on the first try, I did declare that she is a dual citizen, but I did not upload her birth certificate and her Canadian passport. Okay, but you should. So if you have a dual citizen child, or if you are dual citizen, you need to upload both your birth certificate and your passport. Okay, your other nationality passport besides the Philippine passport. Okay, so all right, so when everything was done, I clicked submitted. It took them 2 days to get back to us. Okay, so the three of us, me and my two daughters, it was rejected. So but don't fret, if even if it says they're rejected, it doesn't mean that it's not approved. It just says that it just means that you need to comply with other requirements. Okay, so for me, the problem was my SEC papers, because as I told you, I put in there the SEC certificate, which doesn't state my name. So all I had to do was to fix it and to put the bylaws instead, because in the bylaws my name is there. Okay, so that's the only thing that I fixed. Okay, for my second daughter, the 28-year-old doctor, I forgot to upload the cover letter on the first submission. Okay, so all I had to do was to upload that um, cover letter. Ah, yeah, and I also forgot to upload her birth certificate at that time. So I uploaded two, I added two, which is the cover letter and her birth certificate, because that proves my affiliation with her. Okay? So, number three, my 19-year-old special needs daughter, so she got rejected as well, because I did not upload her birth certificate and her Canadian passport. Because actually, the birth certificate was not in the requirements. It's not listed there. However, they looked for it, so I had to resubmit. Okay? At this point, the first submission, my husband's application was not rejected, but it was still pending for review. Okay? So, I resubmitted it again. It took them 2 days to come back to me, and the three of us, me and my two daughters, is it says there's completed review completed. Okay, so we're done. Okay, but my husband, the Canadian, still is pending. Okay, so it took another day for him to get fully reviewed. Okay, so once that you go back to the portal and then you see everything is completed review or review completed, you can now go to the Chinese Visa Service Center, okay, Application Service Center, which is located in 6762 Ayala Avenue, yes, in Legazpi Village, Makati. Okay, the building is called Noble Building, but you cannot waste that one. So just waste 6762, and it's gonna point you to the building. It's quite easy to find. Okay, so you don't need a schedule, you don't need an appointment to go there. Just go there between 9 to 2 p.m. Okay, and then you have to bring the printed copy of all your applications, the requirements that you submitted, and I added 2 pieces of the ID pictures. Okay, do not staple them, do not glue them, because I made a mistake. Because if you remember, my picture was rejected. The 3 doesn't have any issues, but my picture was rejected. What I did was to bring 2 loose ID pictures, but I also pasted one on my application. So it's such a hassle because they made me print it out again there in the Visa Application Center. They have computers there wherein you can access your email, and then you can have it printed out on the counter, on the front counter, which costs about 10 pesos. It's not the amount, it's just a hassle because you have to do that. So don't paste it, don't staple it. Okay, just clip it. Okay, just paper clip it. Okay, so bring everything, make sure that it is signed. Okay, at the end of the application, so it's signed with date and everything, then just submit. Actually, the submission is quite it's an easy process, to be honest. They will offer you VIP, but the thing is, I did not because there's an additional cost. It's about 1,800 per head, and there's 4 of us, and I don't have anything to do that day anyway. So, which is a good decision, because when I got there, it was so fast. It's less than 15 minutes, and then our number was already called. It could have been a very smooth process. It's just that number one, my glued picture, so I have to reprint it, and then number 2, they asked for the birth certificate, the PSA birth certificate of my dual citizen daughter and her Canadian passport, which is very, very different, because why would you need a birth certificate in the first place? You already have the passport with them. But anyway, that's their requirement. And then I had to go back home. Okay, I had to go back home. The lady at the counter didn't want to process our papers until I submit that one. But I told them that we need to have this process as soon as possible because we need our passports back because we're leaving again for Japan. Okay, so she said, okay, so just bring it before 3 p.m. today, and then I will process it. So we were able to make it back by 12 noon, and then just submitted the birth certificate and the Canadian passport of my daughter, then it's fine. We only waited about 3 days. We lodged the application on a Thursday, and then we had it, they made us pick it up on a Tuesday. Okay, so once that you pay in the counter, they will give you a schedule, and ours was just like 3 days after. Okay, so it was really fast. When I got there during pickup, it was there's so many people, to be honest. And when I was there, the queue was just at 80, and my number was 126. But I was surprised. I was there for less than 15 minutes. So it's quite kudos to the China Visa Service Center because they're very, very efficient. Okay, and when I looked at it, okay, so it's not, I'm not surprised because I've been watching a lot of other YouTube videos about this one. So the Philippine passport holders, me and my 2 daughters, we got, of course, single entry, good for 30 days. Okay, we can stay in China for 30 days. Okay, then I look at my husband's, the one that I paid 4,800 for, which is more expensive than ours, and but when I looked at it, it's multiple for 2 years. So I guess it's fine even if we paid almost double of what we paid. But at least it's multiple for 2 years. Okay? So it was such a very, very easy process. Okay? So just take note when you go there to the visa center, please don't wear sleeveless and shorts. They're going to make you wear a sarong, and thank you to Manong Guard there. He has a sarong. He has a shawl ready, so he will lend you a shawl and you have to wear it. So you don't want that hassle, just don't wear sleeveless and shorts. Okay? There's no parking downstairs. The guard usually doesn't allow you to park downstairs. So, and there's a parking facility in front, but since it's business hours, it's always full. So the best next thing is to wait to park in Greenbelt 5 and just walk it because it's quite near. If not, your driver can just wait outside if you have driver. Okay? So yeah, so all in all, it's quite an easy process. Expensive, yes, compared to other visas, but it is what it is. So I hope that it helped you. If you have any questions at all, if you have the same dynamic as our family, just don't hesitate to message me and I'll try to answer it as best as I could. Okay, hope this helped. Bye.